The void was absolute. Commander Zyrak of the Velhari Confederacy floated inside his dying vessel, the Eternal Reach, watching the last emergency light flicker against cracked bulkheads. 3 days. He had been adrift for 3 days after the ambush. The Kroth raiders had struck without warning, 7 warships against his single diplomatic cruiser. They had torn through his shields like paper, killed his crew of 40, and left him spinning in the darkness between star systems. No distress beacon. No fuel. No hope. Zyrak was a proud being. 6 limbs. Bioluminescent skin that once glowed gold with authority. Now it pulsed a dim, sickly gray, the Velhari biological signal for dying. He had sent one final encoded transmission before his communications array had burned out. A general broadcast on all frequencies. A plea cast into the ocean of stars. Nobody answers those, he told himself bitterly. Not in this sector. Not for a Velhari officer. He closed his 4 eyes and prepared to accept death with whatever dignity remained. Then the Eternal Reach shuddered. Zyrak's eyes snapped open. A docking clamp. Something had physically grabbed his ship. He pulled himself through the weightless corridor toward the airlock, his weakened limbs barely responding. Through the cracked viewport, he saw it. A vessel unlike anything in Velhari records. Bulky. Asymmetrical. Covered in welded repair plates and burn marks from 100 battles. A flag was painted across its hull, a rectangle of red, white, and blue stripes with a cluster of stars in the corner. Beneath it, stenciled in bold white letters. USS Resolute, United States Space Navy. Zyrak had heard of humans. Everyone in the Confederacy had. A young species, barely 2 centuries into interstellar travel. Primitive by Galactic Council standards. Emotional. Unpredictable. Dangerous. The airlock groaned and hissed open. 4 figures stepped through in sealed suits. They moved with practiced efficiency, weapons raised but not aimed. Scanning. Assessing. The lead figure removed her helmet. A human female. Brown eyes sharp as a hawk. A jaw set with quiet determination. Her name patch read, Captain Riley Morgan. She looked at Zyrak, all 6 limbs, gray-pulsing skin, barely conscious, and did not flinch. She did not raise her weapon. She did not step back. She stepped forward. Corpseman, she barked over her shoulder. Then, to Zyrak, in broken but deliberate Velhari trade tongue, you are safe now. We have you. Zyrak stared. Why? He managed, his translator clicking. We are not allies. Your species has no treaty with the Confederacy. Captain Morgan looked at him like the question itself was absurd. You were dying alone in space, she said simply. That's reason enough. They carried him aboard the Resolute and the humans worked on him immediately, not with Velhari medicine, which they didn't have, but with improvised solutions. Their ship doctor, Lieutenant Commander Daniel Hayes, cross-referenced Velhari biology on a cracked datapad, muttering calculations under his breath, adapting human emergency protocols with remarkable speed. His circulatory fluid is copper-based, Hayes announced, not panicking, simply solving. Get me the plasma equivalent. We'll synthesize a bridge compound. Zyrak had expected pity at best. Disgust at worst. What he received was complete, focused, furious competence. Around him, the crew of the Resolute went about their duties, engineers patching systems, pilots charting courses, soldiers cleaning weapons. A young crewman named Private Jake Holloway brought Zyrak a heated nutrient pack, guessing at the ingredients, leaving a handwritten note attached that read, "Hope this works. Sorry if it tastes bad." It did taste bad. Zyrak consumed every drop. On the second day, Captain Morgan sat beside his recovery pod. The Kroth who attacked you, she said, pulling up a star map. We've tracked their patrol route. We can escort you to Confederate space and file an incident report with the Galactic Council on your behalf. ZYRAK studied her. You would start a conflict with the Kroth for a stranger? Morgan smiled, that strange, asymmetrical human expression that somehow communicated 100 things at once. We won't start anything, she said. But if they come at us, we'll absolutely finish it. When the Resolute finally crossed into Velhari Confederate space 3 days later, Kroth warships having wisely declined to intercept them, ZYRAK stood at the viewport and watched the stars. The galaxy's elder races had always dismissed humans. Too young. Too reckless. Too soft in their endless capacity for sentiment. But ZYRAK now understood what they had all missed. Humans did not rescue you because of treaties. They did not help you because of strategic advantage. They did not calculate the political cost before offering their hand. They helped because someone was dying and they could not leave them there. In a cold, calculating galaxy full of ancient civilizations that had long since traded compassion for survival, that singular, stubborn, irrational human quality was not a weakness. It was the most terrifying force in the universe.